Hey everybody, this is Rocket Queen 71 coming at you live from my headquarters in Rocklahoma. How's it going? It's Sunday. I hope you are having a rocktastic time. I got up about an hour ago and it felt so good to be in that bed with my head on that pillow with Muskogee patting me on the face saying, Mama, give me some time. Give me me time. And I drifted off to sleep. I needed it. But, I want to welcome all of you to my channel, to my Twitch channel. I want to also say that I'm grateful for each and every one of you that comes here, that interacts, that engages with me. It means a lot. I'm also grateful for the follows. And, life is good, guys. Life is good. Even if we feel that we screwed up our life, life is still good. We're still 6 feet above ground. And, so I feel yesterday, I had a good couple of streams. It felt good to be streaming again. To it feels good that I'm noticing my stream elements is up and running again. Things are alright this morning. Alright. We're just going with the flow right now. I feel like yesterday I had a productive day, even though if I was in a little pain or not, and I don't realize I put myself in a bad space sometimes. And that's why we need accountability partners. That's why we need friends that really, tell you like it is and tell you not what you want to hear. But like I said many times before on here, I have to give myself reality checks sometimes 2, 3, 4 times a day, just so I can be grounded. Important that I always keep myself in check. Even if I'm most comfortable with my recovery. Because you never know, that monkey could be sneaking up upon my back, tapping his finger on my shoulder saying, I'm right behind you and I'm about to get on your back. Because I hear it all the time, pretty much, where people have 25 years sober, 15 years sober, 4 years sober, 7 years sober. They feel like they're in a good place, and all of a sudden, BAM! Relapse happens. But when you realize your attitude is the start of a relapse. They say your attitude is a start. It all starts up here. It doesn't happen when you pick up a drink or a drug. It happens up here. Sinking thinking. And especially when I'm in a lot of pain and I get in that very dark place, it's not good, I apologize, guys. I'm trying to do something real quick. I really want to try to figure out what's going on with Streamlabs that doesn't run on my computer. That's the most important and frustrating. Every time I come on this computer and my webcam is pretty much my phone now. I have 3 webcams that I bought a couple years ago. And I'm not using them. But we're going with the flow. actually getting a little hot in here. But, when you're most comfortable where you're at, even that's not good. You know? I mean, for a while, I was doing this channel, and things were going right. People were telling me about the audio and all this stuff, and things were looking up, and hey, I got this. And then all of a sudden, bam, bam, like, you know, the Streamlabs doesn't work anymore. This doesn't work anymore. What's going on? You know. But there's a lot of times where it's like, I'll come on here and it's like, oh, I want to figure this out. And then at the same time, it's like, I don't want to deal with it right now. You know, it's all with your attitude. With my attitude. You know. But I feel right now, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Pretty much. You know. Things aren't perfect, but life isn't perfect either. Things in life don't go as planned. And, you just gotta go with the flow. Whoops. a little while ago, I got up. I was still drowsy. I took some medication for my pain and all that, and I was just sitting here, and I had an urge to drink some Java Monster, because Java Monster is the only rocket fuel for this rocket queen. Hell yeah! And so, you know how that's gonna go. So, I was gonna write a note to my husband saying I took my medication at, I guess, around 4:30 or whatever, and he was on the couch asleep. And when I was gonna leave him the note on the table, he was awake, and I said to him, listen, go into bed, get a couple hours of good sleep, because he goes to church in a couple hours, you know. And then I guess when he goes to church, I'll just be, who knows what I'm gonna end up doing. You know, so hey, at least yesterday I stayed up till 9 o'clock at night. I accomplished my goal, and I feel like I had a good stream. You know, the second half of my stream, after the bathroom break that I had, I got this from my room here, and we started reading the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous. And it's a pretty awesome stream. So yeah, we read through like the preface, and then the forward to the first edition, and I know the history of AA and all that, but just to remind myself how the program of Alcoholics Anonymous came to be and their history, I need to remind myself that. And I think a lot of alcoholics, recovering alcoholics and alcohol addicts have to remind themselves, you know, the history. I'm thinking, like, how can, I mean, back then, I mean, it was either do or die. People, you know, dry themselves out. That's what they used to call, going to detox or whatever. Dry themselves out. They would end up in the hospital for a week. And they had no program. And this program saved a lot of lives. And it takes a lot more than just willpower. It takes something greater than yourself to restore me to sanity and to have a good life. The big man upstairs so I have a lot to be grateful for. A lot. Like yesterday when I was reading for this and I was telling you guys about my father, how, my father was an alcoholic. He died when I was 16. And, my mother took him to his first AA meeting. And at that time, meetings were so different. It was so depressing, so serious, and all that. And then my father turned to my mother and said, I'm never going to go to any of these again. When my father died, I was like his favorite. He had 5 kids. He was married twice before my mom. And all that. And, I was wondering if he was still alive today, which he would be 90-something years old. But I wonder if he was alive and I was struggling, to get help and get myself clean and sober, that if he saw me try to do it, would that help him some? Like influence him some? I don't know that. mean, my father knew I was on drugs and alcohol, and he bailed me out from a few things. And he was very sick at that time too. But I wonder if I finally got myself clean and sober, and then he saw that, would he go to meetings? And I think I would probably, talk to him about it. Most likely. And I would try and convince him. You can't drag a horse to drink water, okay? You can't drag a horse to, forcibly make him drink water. I know he knew drinking affected his life, and the alcohol made his life unmanageable. He even tried to stop, even try to cut down, and he went to get dried out. That's what they used to call it back then, getting dried out. But yeah, I think that would have been an awesome thing. If he saw me get myself clean and sober, a junkie and a crackhead and an alkie, and he saw what I was going through, and he, like I said, he did see me go through what I was going through. Just a little sliver of it. He bailed me out. Not jail, but he bailed me out with a couple situations and stuff like that. But I truly believe that I think he would have been on board, and maybe him and I would go to meetings together. We shall never know. I know my father's proud of me now. More than ever. Like I said, I still have friends in Jersey, that are still using and that are still doing what they're doing, and in reality, I know I would be dead by now. I know that for a fact. And now I have the opportunity to help people, to give people inspiration and hope that they can do it too. The thing about it is, like with me, I generally care so much, but it's like I get attached to people too. I wouldn't say that. I get attached too easily to little kittens. That's, I think if I ever became a drug and alcohol counselor or whatever, I think I would have been emotionally attached or invested into somebody's recovery. You know, that's why a lot of these psychologists or these drug and alcohol counselors, they have counselors themselves so they can vent, you know, because they need that too, you know. There was this counselor named Michelle Lane, and she was back in Jersey and stuff, and she was my on and off counselor for a long time. She went through hell and back with me. And she stuck with me, you know. She knew all the bullshit and the manipulation I try to pull over her eyes, you know. And so she, at that time, was a big part of my recovery. You know, and it's something how when you talk about, you know, your past, and you haven't thought about certain people in your life, and then all of a sudden, you know, say like Michelle comes up, and you know, and I think about all the times that she helped me. You know, I wonder where she's at now. I don't know if she still works for detox or anything. I have counselors now, you know, like, the mental health system in Oklahoma is a lot different than in New Jersey. You know, and there's a lot of people in Oklahoma that need the mental health system, you know, and a lot of them fall through the cracks, and it's not like, first of all, New Jersey has a lot more money than Oklahoma does. You know, and the one thing that Oklahoma has that Jersey doesn't is they give people iPads, free iPads. So in case you don't have, say, a ride to go to the counseling center or go to counseling or whatever, and you can have your appointments on this iPad. But there's a lot of things wrong with the Oklahoma mental health system that I know about firsthand. And believe me, I told my counselors about it here, about a certain situation. Oklahoma doesn't have the funding like New Jersey does. Oh, good morning, Snookums. Oh, Snookums, good morning. What are you grateful for this morning? I'm grateful for you showing up. Cheers. So Monster is the only rocket fuel for this rocket queen. Hell yeah. I actually enjoyed our conversation. I wasn't even going to stream. I got up around like 4 o'clock. And all that. I was so groggy. And I went to bed around like 8 or 9 o'clock last night. I was tired. And my husband, decided to, get something to eat for us both. And he wanted to have a pizza. And I said, no, why don't we go to this other place for takeout, not Chinese or anything. And he's like, well, okay. So he surprised me, and he got me, a chicken fried steak dinner, while he got a free meat pizza from a gas station. So after I ate, I just like conked right out, and then I just got up, and I had to go to the bathroom. I came in here just to have a cigarette and then just look on the internet. And the longer I sat here, I was like, why not? I'll stream for a little bit. So I'm here. I'm actually surprised I lasted that long last night. But that dinner was like a sleeping pill that I needed, I guess, But you missed it. You missed it. The second half of my stream, my outdoor stream, I read from Fun. Yeah, my goal is to cook dinner this week. When I'm in a lot of pain, I can't. For months, I haven't really been able to cook anything because I can't stand for a long time. And a lot of times I feel like I'm failing as a wife because when my husband and I first got married, I used to cook all the time, you know, and all that. And he was getting fatter and fatter and fatter, right? Good eats, right? Good down home cooking. And, but then when my pain issues started and stuff, forget it. But now that, you know, a couple of weeks ago I had, you know, the shots on my back and whatever, I'm cooking a little bit more. Because I love to cook. You know, I miss that. I miss, like, baking stuff and just, you know, cooking and, you know, seeing my husband be all smiles and burping, you know, compliments to the chef, you know, and or whatever, and just have a satisfied look on his face, you know. And you know what too? I miss cooking for my mother-in-law. You know. Oh, it will be. You have a good day. You have a rocktastic day. And have a blessed one. Oh, you know what? You never sent me a message on Twitter. Oh, yeah. I was just saying, that's all. I really don't like going on Twitter. I really don't. Any social media from Discord to Facebook to any, I really don't. Well, maybe that's a good thing. Since everybody gets offended over everything anymore, it's ridiculous. I had friends on Facebook that I known for years that were, you know, fans of our band or whatever. I've known since high school that some of them were roadies and whatever, and I'd said something political that they didn't like, and they banned me. They blocked me. You mean to tell me you're going to block me after 25, 30 years of friendship, and without us, you didn't get to meet Ozzy, you didn't get to meet Lemmy, you didn't get, you know, to meet, you know, certain guitar heroes of yours, you know? Yeah, well, No, some of them were. They were. They were just having a bad day or something, you know. But I know a lot of them weren't, because without me, they would have never met certain people. You know? Not anymore. Not anymore. Trust me on that. I just, like, a couple months ago, I just deleted Facebook altogether. You know? They know where to reach me at. So... Do you know, alright, so do you know that a lot of families are estranged now? You know why that is? Because of Facebook, the internet. Everybody's like, you know, they don't, pretty much respect other people's, opinion about politics, religion, whatever. They're estranged they're estranged more than ever. I wish I could say that about my family. About my side of the family. But, that happens in life. Unfortunately. There was a news story on CBS Sunday mornings, and I love that show, and they had a story about how families are more estranged than in the past over stupid little stuff, Yeah, the ones that are positive. I'd rather have people that are positive in my life than just, I have a story for you. A couple months ago, I was still on Facebook, all right? My mother is in a nursing home back in Jersey, okay? So all of a sudden, I get a message on Facebook from my cousin's daughter, right? And I'm like, what is this about? So her message read, we were wondering, how Karen is. That Karen's my mom. You know, because, and I'm thinking, oh, all of a sudden you're gonna ask me how my mother is. Alright? So I looked on her Facebook page. Well, apparently she had a baby. Right? So I expressed my feelings about the whole family situation. And I said, I'm not blaming you because you were pretty much forced to be put in the middle between everybody. But I don't think it's right. You know. And, so I said to her, I said, well, why don't you call me up and we'll talk? She said, well, I have a baby right now. I don't talk on the phone. I can text her on the phone, but I can't talk on the phone. And I said, really? Really? And then I just that's it. You know, that just broke the camel's back right there. When it came to that. Basically, she wanted to tell my aunt what was going on with my mother. And after me telling, my cousin's daughter about what's going on with my mother, I said I should never told her that. I should just said, everybody's just fine. Everything's just fine. There's a movie with Robert De Niro called Everything's Fine, and it's about this man who decides to spontaneously, goes on a, road trip to visit all his, family members, like his, son and his daughters and whatever, because every time they talk on the phone, his kids would be saying, oh, everything's fine, everything's fine. It's a good movie. So every time I, talk to my family or whatever, it's like, yeah, everything's fine. When it's really not, So, but that just rubbed me the wrong way. I hate when people say, I'll text you, I won't call you, I'll text you. I'm like, well, it's a lot easier just by talking on the phone. Instead of texting. And that's what's wrong with the world today too, is people don't actually talk, communicate with your mouths, They all want to text or whatever. I'd rather talk. I asked my cousin's daughter, I said, why do you call my mom Karen? It's Aunt Karen. And she's like, well, I want, it's so that we don't get confused on who we're talking about. I'm like, what? I mean, I'm like, yeah. So in other news, I guess, the World Series is going on. I used to play boys baseball for 11 years. And that was my life. Now I couldn't even tell you who's the first baseman of the Yankees or anything. You know. The game of baseball has changed a lot. You know, games are a lot longer now. You know, they actually want to use like eye umpires to officiate, you know, the game. I feel like they ruined it already by, you know, letting, you know, a team challenge the ump's call. The top 5 hitters in the Phillies lineup are 9 for 17 with 4 home runs and 9 RBIs. Best catcher in baseball. And it's out of here. I used to bet on the World Series a lot. But for a family that wants to go to a regular baseball game, you're going to spend, you know, like with a family of 4, say if you go to Yankee Stadium, you're going to spend at least $500 on like concessions, on souvenirs, and all that stuff. You know? It's ridiculous. Just like with NASCAR. Just like with any sports event anymore. I don't even watch NASCAR anymore. I think ever since Tony Stewart left. Don't get me wrong, I love my Martin Truex Jr., okay? He's my homeboy from Wall Stadium, New Jersey, okay? From Wall, New Jersey. you know, and I just gave that up. I mean, I'll read about it, you know, and if there's like a big crash or a controversy with NASCAR or whatever, I'll read it. But, you know, all right, well, apparently, I don't know who this guy is. His name is Bob Scallon. He has a blue check mark, okay? And he basically posted on Twitter, I understand all the angst and negativity rolling in, but before this game started, you would have been irate if all you knew was the Padres would have a 1-run lead in the third. I'm focusing on how to preserve that right now, not on how that came to be. Go Pads. Well, the city of Philadelphia, you know, from a political standpoint, is, you know, being riddled with higher crime rates, murder, you know, and all that. I can imagine if the Phillies lose, how much more of a fire dumpster Philadelphia is going to be. Actually, I went to rehab in Northeast Philadelphia, called The Bridge. Whoa! That was... Okay, alright, so Lenny Dystra. Lenny Dystra used to be on the Yankees, okay? And he got traded to the Philadelphia Phillies. And the guy has problems, okay? The guy has problems. So this girl posted, well, this was very nice to wake up to. Lenny Dykstra followed you. I don't think that's a good thing. I'm sorry, I think, no, Lenny Dykstra was on the Mets. Yeah, on the Mets, not the Yankees. I guess if I ever had TV, regular TV, would I have been watching the World Series? Probably not. Maybe I would, for a couple innings, but not the whole entire series. Hold on, let's see something. No, here we go. Yeah, he was on the Mets. He's gotten, oh my word. Lenny Dykstra was a scrappy player during his career. It was revealed in the Mitchell report, though, that he used steroids. And that's what makes Dykstra a sleaze. Yeah, he had some temper. Lenny Dykstra challenges pop singer Richard Marx to a fight. Give me a break. Full of himself. apparently he likes to pick fights with a lot of people. With a lot of singers like Aaron Carter. The guy needs to grow up. Apparently he has mouth cancer from chewing a lot of tobacco back in the day. So as far as, you know, like the World Series goes, I'll pick for fun, you know, the Phillies. The Phillies. Well, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. My husband should be getting up soon to go to church. Alright, so I'm on TMZ right now. You know, and actually I heard this from my husband a couple of days ago. Okay? And it's about these daycare horror mass stunt where workers traumatized this kid. You know, like a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, whatever. They look like real winners. And here I'm thinking, oh, you mean to tell me, you know, they were probably, having a little scare fest and, all that stuff. And he's like, no, you don't understand. These workers scared these kids because they thought they were being brats. I was like, oh, okay. This was at a Mississippi daycare center. When I was in Jersey, I had one of the best spook houses on the block. Because I used to dress up as a zombie, jump out of windows, and all that stuff to scare these kids. And there was one time where I would be running after these little kids and, like scaring them and grabbing their candy or just, and I would give them back the candy. I'm not, and all that stuff, right? And these parents were like, we're going to call the cops and stuff because you're scaring these kids to death. And I'm like, it's Halloween. I think the parents were more scared than the kids were. And then all of a sudden, I think that night, I think it was like a half hour later, an hour later, a cop car comes down the street. He sees me, he just waves and, and just goes. I mean, yeah, they look real. The one worker looks like they could be trans. There's another story about a daycare worker in a Freddy Krueger costume. They were scaring the kids and no complaints there. Yeah. When I see all this stuff like on TMZ or I mean, I don't go on TMZ every day or whatever, or if I go on Twitter and I see somebody trending, you know, it's like, oh, did they die? Oh, what's going on with them? You know, it's pretty much, who cares, right? Who cares? Like on Twitter right now, Shawn Michaels is trending. So I guess yesterday they had Halloween Havoc, and the Heartbreak Kid congratulating Wes Lee after becoming North American champion. You love to see it. Every day a wrestler trends on Twitter. Apparently Shawn Michaels grabbed a piece of pizza from a kid and started gobbling it. When my son, my mom, and I went to King of Trios one year, I think it was my first King of Trios, and Jacob Hackermeyer, okay, actually, like, you know, took a couple pieces of nachos and ate them, and then flipped my nachos all over the floor. And I told him, I said, you owe me $3.50 for that. And, you know, for a small little nacho thing like this big, $3.50. Oh, wow. can't be real. What a drop. Well, in other news, I'm going on a site called Just for Today Meditations. Just for Today is a little pocketbook that, you know, every morning before you start your day, you know, you read, you know, the passage for that day. And I used to have that book too. I used to have all these books. I don't know where I have them all. I know I still had them in Jersey when I was packing. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe, you know, the books that I packed was sent to the Salvation Army or something. I don't. So let's just, switch gears and actually, what's today's date? October 23rd. So right now I'm on the website Just for Today Meditations. And last night or yesterday on the stream, I talked to you guys about Daily Reflections. I had that book. Don't know where it went to. And 24 Hours a Day. That's another book. As Bill Sees It. I had that book. Walk in Dry Places. I never had that book. Keep It Simple. Had that book. Each Day a New Beginning. Had that book. Alcoholics Anonymous. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. I have to see if my husband's up. Yeah, so this is actually the first time I've been on the site. Pretty freaking awesome. I'll be right back, guys. I have to see if my husband's up for church. So give me a couple minutes. Be right back. I'm back. I got my husband up for church. So he should be getting up, taking a shower, and, you know, like I said, going to church. So I should actually, put this with my Stream Element bots, this site called Just for Today Meditations. Now you can find posts that will help you out. You know, and like they're meditations. You just read the passage and you think about it, and every little thing helps, believe me, especially early in recovery. You know. But it gets me upset because I had all these books, and the only thing I could think of is I know I was packing them away in a box, and I must have sent most of those books to the Salvation Army. Well, I hope somebody gets good use out of all those books. So, let's just pick one from here. All right. So, Daily Inspiration, October 23rd. Start an I am grateful for list and read it when you are feeling low. Lord, help me see things in a new light and understand that with a little effort, I can turn my complaints into something positive. We are the only ones who can change how we think or how we act. Lord, help me make positive decisions so that life doesn't just happen to me. Every day that I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my husband. I'm grateful for another day clean and sober. I'm grateful for being alive. You know, I'm grateful for God. Because with Him, all things are possible. He gives me the courage, the wisdom, and the strength to keep living without drugs and alcohol. even on the site too, just for today, meditations, they have a section where you can find a meeting. You can find an AA meeting, NA meeting, Overeaters Anonymous meeting, Al-Anon meeting. Oh! So, yesterday on the stream, I was talking about, the 12 steps and the 12 traditions, and the first suggestion they really give you is to find a sponsor. Men with a men, women with a woman. And they do that for a reason. And so I spoke about how now they have workbooks for the steps. And it's not just for rehabs or detox. They have them for meetings. And I'm gonna come back to this site actually. They actually have good topics. Everything happens for a reason. I'm trying to... there's so many sites now that are for people in recovery. I mean, when I started in AA, they didn't even have the internet. You know, I feel so old. Well, here's another one. Gooood.com. Hazelton Betty Ford. Well, that Betty Ford is famous for, the Betty Ford Clinic. That's a rehab, pretty much for the rich and famous, you know. And Hazelton is, I think, in Minnesota. So I guess they joined forces together. I guess they merged together. Excuse me. So I'm on this other site called recoverydaily.com, and they have like daily meditations, they have podcasts, they have books, suggested reading, traditions, fellowship, news sources like the Grapevine. Now the Grapevine is actually a magazine of Alcoholics Anonymous. They have links to online meetings, recovery speakers, friends, contacts, real facts about drugs, humor, Alright, so this is funny. I think I'm going to be liking this site too again. Alright, so I wish you could see this. You know, every time I go on a site like this or whatever, I wish I could show you guys. So on this recoverydaily.com, it has an icon, and it says, Thinkers Anonymous. Friend, is heavy thinking ruining your life? Do you think too much? I know I do. I know I do a lot. It started out innocently enough. I began to think at parties now, and then to loosen up. Eventually, though, one thought led to another. And soon, I was more than just a social thinker. I began to think alone, to relax. I told myself, but I knew it wasn't true. Thinking became more and more important to me. And finally, I was thinking all the time. Dangerous, right? Dangerous. I began to think on the job. I knew that thinking and employment don't mix, but I couldn't stop myself. No, that's terrific. I began to avoid friends at lunchtime so I can read Thoreau and Kafka. I would return to the office dizzied and confused, asking, what is it exactly we are doing here? Things weren't going so great at home either. One evening, I turned off the TV and asked my wife about the meaning of life. She spent that night at her mother's. I'm sorry. Laughter is a healer of a soul, cleanser of a soul, and you gotta have a sense of humor in life. You really do. I love reading humorous stuff like this. I soon had a reputation as a heavy thinker. One day the boss called me in. He said, Skippy, I like you, and it hurts me to say this, but your thinking has become a real problem. If you don't stop thinking on the job, you'll have to find another job. Oh no. This gave me a lot to think about. I came home early after my conversation with the boss. Honey, I confessed, I've been thinking. Ow! Oh, that hurt. I know you've been thinking, she said. I want a divorce. But honey, surely it's not that serious. It is serious, she said, lower lip a quiver. You think as much as the college professors, and college professors don't make any money. No, they just make radical thinkers. So if you keep on thinking, we won't have any money. That's a faulty syllogism, I said impatiently, and she began to cry. I had enough. I'm going to the library. I snarled as I stomped out the door. I headed for the library in the mood for some Nietzsche with a PBS station on the radio. I roared into the parking lot and ran up to the big glass doors. They didn't open. The library was closed. Oh no! To this day, I believe a higher power was looking out for me that night. As I sank to the ground, clawing at the unfeeling glass, whimpering for Zarathustra, a poster caught my eye. Friend, Is heavy drinking ruining your life? It asks. You probably recognize that line. It comes from the standard Thinkers Anonymous poster. To this day, I'm sorry. Which is why I am what I am today. A recovering thinker. And like I said, I know a lot of recovering Catholics. I never miss a TA meeting. At each meeting, we watch a non-educational video. Last week it was Porky's. That was a great 80s movie. You gotta watch Porky's. Then we shared experiences about how we avoided thinking since the last meeting. I still have my job and things are a lot better at home. Life just seemed easier somehow as soon as I stopped thinking. That's cool. I think, you know what? I think that's pretty freaking awesome. There's another section. Oh, I see. Turn off the internet. This is a great little website too. I'll be right back, guys. I have to see if my husband's up. I'll be right back. Alright. I am back. Yeah, so apparently the Hazelton Foundation and Betty Ford did merge together. Actually, Robin Williams went to Hazelton. So with this Hazelton Bay Ford Foundation site, they have what treatments are available. They have inpatient, outpatient, telehealth. They have specialized treatment programs for, opioids, heroin, teen and adult, older adults, women, LGBTQ professionals, services in Spanish, they have mental health services. Telehealth. So, with telehealth, I mentioned where in Oklahoma, and I don't think they had this in Jersey. Maybe they do now. I don't know. But the counseling center that I go to, gives patients a free iPad. And if I'm in crisis or whatever, I'll just press that button to talk to a counselor face to face. Or, and plus, if I don't have a ride to go to a counseling session or whatever, I see the counselor through the iPad. And so they're talking about how telemedicine is transforming treatment in rural communities. So of course when I saw that title of that paragraph, I was thinking of Oklahoma. And when I talked to one of the counselors at the counseling center, they said, yeah, they give these iPads because most clients don't have a ride to get to counseling. and all that. So it's like, oh, isn't that something? You know? So, it says many rural communities have difficulty recruiting healthcare providers and mental health professionals. Patients who live in rural areas travel long distances in order to access medical and behavioral health. Telemedicine visits via video chat, online therapy service, and other telehealth care delivery allows patients to overcome those barriers. For chronic health conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, or substance use disorders, the medical term for drug and alcohol addiction, telemedicine can eliminate the need for routine in-person visits because conditions can be monitored through virtual visits. The advance of telehealth medicine. So this is another good website to go to. I mean, Hazelton and Betty Ford are synonymous with, recovery. So, yeah, I think that's pretty awesome. So anyway, guys, I'm going to end this stream for now. I don't know if I'm going to be on later on. We'll see. But I hope you have a blessed day. I hope you stay away from the white noise. If you or somebody that you know is having a hard time, hang in there. Reach out to get some help that you can confide in. If you know somebody that is struggling, reach out to them. The best you can do for them is actually for free. Just by talking to them. You know, and so with that, guys, this is Rock Queen 71 coming at you live from my headquarters, and I'm signing off. Peace, guys.